It literally just makes you analyze the state and condition of your own heart. Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. I pray that you are all in the best of health and iman. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nafisa. I make videos on the deen and giving some nasiha and Islam lifestyle videos, mostly for sisters. So if you're interested in that kind of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And for those of you who are already subscribed to me, please do not forget to hit the notification bell down below right next to the subscribe button so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Right, in today's video I am talking about the 3 books that have changed my life. Now, I need to start off with a disclaimer. There is no book in the entirety of this world that compares to the Quran. So although the three books I'm going to be showing you today, the Quran is not in there, I feel like the Quran needs a whole separate video of its own because, you know, we all know that the Quran is the guide, right? It's everything. So I don't want anyone getting upset and be like, Nafisa, where's the Quran in all of this? Trust me, that is in a whole category above on its own. So these 3 books are mainly to do with development in terms of the deen. 2 of them are specifically for sisters and 1 of them, you know, anyone can read. I will try to leave a link in the description box down below for where you can purchase them on Amazon if you're interested in buying any of these 3 books. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Right, so the first book that I'm going to be talking about is this book right here. It's called A Gift for a Muslim Woman. SubhanAllah, I was gifted this book about 9 years ago, around about the time when I started sort of, you know, taking the deen more seriously and practicing, by a family friend. And honestly, this book changed my life because although I was born a Muslim and I, you know, went to madrasa and all of that, there was still so much about the deen that I did not know, especially when it came to like issues specifically regarding us sisters. It's basically broken down into like different chapters, and they name the chapters like the book of something. So it teaches you a lot about all the sort of physical aspects of being a Muslim woman and the rulings with regard to issues in your life, but it also talks about like the spiritual part. So it's got this section, the book of safeguarding the tongue, which talks about backbiting and the dangers of it, the punishment of it, and how to stay away from committing things like that. So it also covers sort of like issues of the heart. And from this book you really learn about the finer details of the deen and things that we should know as Muslim women that you may have probably, your parents didn't teach you, you know, they kind of forgot that part, or if you're a non-Muslim then obviously you wouldn't have known. I know I'm raving about it guys, but seriously this book taught me so much stuff that I know right now in the deen I acquired from reading this book. So I cannot recommend it enough guys. It's a really good book. Do pick it up if you're able to, inshallah. So the next book is this book right here. It's called The Purification of the Soul. Now this book really helped me when it came to my knowledge and understanding of the conditions of the heart. This book basically breaks down to you what a good heart is and what a diseased heart is. So it talks about things like sincerity, seeking forgiveness, the state of the self, perseverance, gratitude, reliance on Allah, contentment with the decree of Allah, the life of this world. It just talks about so much, and what it does is it breaks down to you what a good heart, a good and pure heart looks like. Then it gives you a sign of what a heart that is somewhere in between looks like. Then it also talks about like the dead heart and what that looks like. And when I was reading this book, I was literally just thinking about myself the whole time I was reading it. And whenever it would show like the signs and symptoms, I was just like, oh, and it literally just makes you analyze the state and condition of your own heart. You know, sometimes we can all be a little bit too ambitious or a little bit delusional about how good of Muslims we really are, and it's only when you start to read the signs of what a good heart is and what are the conditions of that you start to really analyze yourself and realize that, okay, I'm not as great as I thought I was and I've got such a long way to go. But inshallah it gives you hope as well as to like what state of condition of the heart you want to eventually get to. So I would say that this book is very much a spiritual book. It really gets you thinking about the condition of your soul. And you know, when the whole time I was reading this book, I was just like, wow, like Allah knows all of this about me that I don't even know about myself, and it's really time for me to fix up. And that is one of the reasons why this book really changed my life, because it made me realize that you have to also focus on the state of your heart. Like, it's not just about the actions that you do, it's more important to actually concentrate on your heart. So focusing on things like sincerity and contentment with the decree of Allah, these things are easier said than done. These are the hardest things you can actually, you know, try to put into practice. So although it's a very short book, as you guys can see, it's not that many pages. And the publishers of this book also have other books in case you're interested. So there's one called 33 Ways to Concentrate in Your Prayers, The Fiqh of Tolerance, Regulations for Using Evidence in Islamic Law, Description of Paradise. So they also write other books similar to this one, but like I said, this was the one that was a game changer for me. This book was a game changer for me. It literally made me understand the condition of my heart. And it's funny because every time I go back and I read this, I find myself at different stages. So it's definitely a book that I continuously go back to, and one that I would definitely recommend that you guys read. You have to own this book. It's really, really good. Okay, so last but not least, the final book that I'm going to talk about is this book right here. It's called Don't Be Sad. A lot of you may have already read this book, but I got this book at a time in my life when I was going through, you know, some trials. You know, when you like go through your first trial and you feel like you've literally like been punched in the stomach. You just think, when is there ever going to be an end to this situation? And it gets you to a point where you're kind of on the verge of losing hope. And so that was when I got this book, and this book really, really helped me to give me hope of my condition and make me understand that, you know, nothing in life is permanent. So I'm just going to read to you guys a couple of lines from this book. So when disaster and calamity occurs, the afflicted calls out, "O Allah." When doors are shut before those who seek to enter through them, and barriers are placed before those who are in need, they cry out, "O Allah." When all plans end in failure, all hope is lost, and the path becomes constricted, "O Allah" is called out. To Allah ascends all good words, the sincere supplications, the tears of the innocent, and the invocations of the afflicted. Hands and eyes are extended to him in times of hardship and misfortune. The tongue chants, cries out, and mentions his name. The heart finds peace, the soul finds rest, the nerves are relaxed, and the intellect is wakened. And it also gives a few tips about the things that can bring you happiness in your life. And let me just read to you some of the list here. So according to the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are 6 things that can bring you happiness. One of them is good deeds, a pious wife, a spacious house, sustenance that comes from halal means, good manners, and being debt free. So it talks about all those different things, and it just continues to give you so much hope in just seeing life in a much more positive light. I know a lot of books, or sometimes you hear a lot of lectures and you just think everyone just makes you feel bad for being sad, because it's like, why are you not grateful to Allah? But I feel like, although yes, this book also talks about, you know, gratitude and being thankful to Allah, it actually also gives you, like, helps you put things into perspective. And there you go, guys. Those are the 3 books that really changed my life and helped me at different stages in my life according to whatever I was going through. I hope you guys found some inspiration in those books. I hope you will check out some of them, because like I said, you know, those books really did help me, and I pray that you guys find some good in them as well. Let me know in the description box down below, are there any books that you have read that have changed your lives that you would like for me to also read and look into? Please let me know, because I'm always willing to learn new things and discover new things every day. Now I really have to get on top of my game when it comes to reading, because I've really been slacking in the past few years. So guys, I really want to get back on board into like reading books again. So let me know in the description box down below. It doesn't even have to be books that are deen related. It could just be general self-help type books that you think would really help me if I was to read them. So let me know in the description box down below. Jazakallah khair for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. Jazakallah khair for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Assalamu alaikum.